Hi all, welcome to Exam Shala. In this video, we are going to see some important news and articles of 13th of March 2021. But before getting started, kindly do like, share, subscribe our channel on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Telegram. Now let's move on to the main video. The first topic is the recently happened India and US, Japan, Australia, that is the so-called Quad meeting. This news has been coming from a week long, or maybe if you consider the month long meet. Initially, there was a meeting of the foreign ministers of the Quad group, then some secretary general, and then there is a summit level meeting. Now, what is a summit level meeting? Summit level meeting क्या होती है? तो summit level meeting is the meeting of heads of the governments. Okay, for any country, the head of the governments are meeting. That meeting is called summit level talk. That is the highest decision making body. So for United States, the head of government is same as the head of executive, that is the president. And other three countries, the head of government is the prime minister, for both India, Japan, as well as Australia. So now in this meeting, there are three key points that has been discussed, and that is very important for the international relations perspective as well as the Indian economy and the soft diplomacy perspective. Recently, we have discussed a news with the Delhi High Court saying that government, it should not focus more on the international vaccine support. First, it should give vaccine to the own country members, and based on that, there was a kind of a defamation, or the kind of a decrement in the two sources of ideas. That one idea was saying that we should use more and more vaccine diplomacy in order to make a goodwill for our country. Another set of data was to use the vaccines that is made for our country people rather than giving the vaccination. So how this soft diplomacy, that is the Maitri vaccine Maitri diplomacy, has actually worked, we will see in this video. Okay, so this meeting, the summit level virtual meeting means it's happened on online, and this was attended by the US President Joe Biden, Australian PM Scott Morrison, as well as Yoshininde Suga of Japan. The main three outcomes are: first is the Japan is going to be critical and emerging technology working group. So they are planning to find out or to carve out a critical emerging technology working group. That is, indirectly they are going to make a technical group and cooperation for which 5G technology, in order to counter China and Chinese company Huawei. India and these other Quad countries, along with the D10 countries we discussed yesterday, that are Democratic 10, we are going to develop an alternative technology, that is the 5G technology. And this one, the first group, that is a critical and emerging technology group, and this Quad is going to be very phenomenal and monumental in this. Next is Quad Climate Working Group. So this will be a kind of a working group based on the line of the UNFCCC, designing, developing, maintaining IDC protocols, and the Asia and the Indo-Pacific regions. So climate change in the Asia Pacific as well as Indo-Pacific regions will be dealt by these working group. But the most important thing is they have decided to vaccinate or to procure 1 billion vaccine to the world, and this vaccination program will be under a vaccine expert group. And most important point is India will manufacture all these vaccines. So the manufacturing point will be India, funds, money will be provided by Japan, and the logistics, that is the transfer of these vaccines, will be held by Australia. And the formula, that is for Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Moderna, even from all other companies like Novax, a new vaccine of Novax. So the formula, or the chemical formula, and the chemical related technological help will be provided by USA. So USA will provide technology, India will manufacture it, because it is the pharmacy of the world. 60% of the pharmaceutical industries are located in India. Every drug, 10 out of 6 drug is being produced, procured, researched, made in India. And that is why India's capability in vaccine development and pharmaceutical has been recognized internationally, and due to our this Maitri vaccine program, we have successfully launched that we can even produce, procure as well as distribute this vaccine as per our demand, and this is going to pay. How it is going to pay? By manufacturing these vaccines, our pharma industry will work and money will come from Japan. Now the workers, that is, if the manufacturing is happening in the country, the workers will be paid out for it. We will be investing more in the research and development. So our manufacturing power will further increase, and it will also increase the investment. So it is all around development for India. So the plan or the task of the foreign ministry in the form of vaccine Maitri providing vaccines to the other countries are now paying well. How it is paying? So India has become a capital in the vaccine distribution as well as production, and this is going to pay in our economy as well, foreign investment as well, and the more and more technological innovations. So this was the reap result of the vaccine Maitri that has been done. Two other points in that in concerning the international relations is they have issued a joint statement, and that joint statement reads out like share vision for free and open Indo-Pacific unconstrained by coercion. Coercion means zabardasti, by force, arm twisting. So indirectly they are giving messages against China, that is, you do not interfere in the Indo-Pacific region. Okay, you do not arm twist your neighbors like Taiwan, Tibet, Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia. Allow free and fair movement in the Indo-Pacific region, and we do not want you to share. So it is a kind of an indirect sarcasm taunt to the Chinese that we are against you and do what you can, and we will make an alliance and we will pressurize you in the very Indo-Pacific, that is the very home of you, and we will make the South China Sea a free water territory. So this is the most important point from the international relation points of perspective. Now one important point is also there, that on the sidelines of the G7 meeting which is going to happen in 2021 at UK, Glasgow. Okay, it is going to happen at Glasgow, which is in Scotland. India is being invited as an informal member. So all these four countries will meet there at G7, and also they will meet at G20 summit which is going to happen at Italy. So two important points. One is where is G7 is going to happen? 2021. So it is at Glasgow, and second G20 is Italy. And both the meetings India will be a common member. So we will again meet the quad member, because USA, Japan as well as Britain and Australia are the members of all these groupings. Okay. Second news is very important from the point of view of public administration purpose, that government says that officials, especially the government officials, cannot head the state election commission. Now we know that the Central Election Commission holds the election of which body? That is the Lok Sabha as well as Vidhan Sabha. But the local body elections, the corporators, the Gram Panchayat, these elections are held by State Election Commissioner. Now what is happening in this is the Central Election Commission is performing its duty very well, because it is all near most independent body, constitutional body, it has no pressure, it has media. But what is happening, the State Election Commission is not having that much protection, and the officers are being pulled out from the very state election cadre of the same officers. And so if an officer is working in the state government, he will bound to give favor to the state government as a state election commissioner chief. And based on this, the Supreme Court has ruled that no central or state government employee will be heading as a state election commissioner. We will see in detail. Okay, state government officials cannot be appointed state election commissioner. Why? Because he cannot act independently, because he is already working in the state government, and if he will do something, then he will be fear of punishment, posting or not good post, some kind of torture, manipulation. So in order to get away from this, there is a tendency, or there will always be a tendency by the state government officer to give rulings or to favor the currently running state government as and when if he is appointed as a state election commissioner. So this is the basic reason, and the Supreme Court has ruled against in this manner. One more important point to understand about this is Article 243(2), which separately deals with the election commissioner and says to protect its autonomy, its removal is been secured. So he cannot be removed abruptly, but on the grounds of, like the judge of High Court, based on impeachment. But what is happening is, after getting appointed, he still will have to work under the state government, and that is why if he is an officer, if he is leaving the state government, he is bound to have get pressurized by the state government, and that is why the Supreme Court or the court has ruled that no state government employee can be made state election commissioner. Now next news is about the FDI. We know that in the early March 2020, due to the COVID lockdowns, our company faced a slowdown and their shares were dipping down, their loans were increasing, and for that they needed FDI. Owing to that, many Chinese companies showed interest to invest in them, and had they been invested in them, they would have gained more than 49% of the share as an FDI. And what would happen then? Then they would have become the managing director of that industries, and this would have been a kind of an opportunistic takeover by the Chinese company, and they would have entered our economy through back doors. And in order to stop that, the government made a special law that countries which are having land frontier, that is land border with India, they cannot directly invest in the countries of India, but they will have to take permission from the Home Ministry. And they kind of stopped such kind of opportunistic takeover by the rival countries, basically the Chinese country of the Indian countries, when there was a COVID lockdown. But now what is happening? In 2021, the economic state is going to be good. Economy is improving, and these restrictions may be ruled out. So based on this assumption, Mr. Pratik Datta is saying that government should not remove this act abruptly. They should also think about it and maintain the stand which was earlier, that they would not allow any kind of companies, especially the Chinese company, to invest in India as a form of FDI, especially in those companies which are related to manufacturing products related to defense, communication and security. These types of company should never be allowed by the government of India to get FDIs, especially from China and Chinese operated other multinational companies. This is what is fair, and this is what this video is all about. Next important is states of distress. This article is basically focused on, due to COVID lockdown or COVID conditions, the share of the state budget is less. Okay, center is giving less to state, and so what is happening? States are giving much less to the local bodies. So this is the basic concern. Since the local bodies are getting less, local development is in jeopardy, and states are more and more focusing on schemes like free vaccine, okay, and direct DBT to people. Why? Because elections are coming, like in Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Assam, Kerala. So elections are going to become, and states are more and more focusing on direct benefit transfer or cash transfer or freebies like free vaccines, okay, free schemes, 1500 rupees per month to a woman, especially in Tamil Nadu. So these kind of schemes are not going to help. Actually, they are actually reducing the economic condition and economic burden of the state. Instead, more amount of money should be spent on infrastructures, road, health services and hospitals, educational infrastructure, electricity, energy infrastructure, like this. So the capital investment will be good, and that will give us revenue and will help in recovering from the pandemic. So this is what basically it is written. Next is the factory output. Now here two important point is IIP, industrial input of production. This is an index which measures the growth of industrial input, that is amount of manufacturing in a country is increasing or decreasing. So recent data says that amount of manufacturing has decreased in comparison to last quarter. Quarter means a year of 12 months is been divided into 3 quarters of 4 months each. So in comparison to the last quarter, this quarter the IIP has showed that manufacturing has decreased, and CPI, that is consumer price index, this index shows the महंगाई, okay, the inflation in the retail market. So there are two things to know from this. One is IIP, that is industrial index is decreasing, that is manufacturing is decreasing, and CPI, that is consumer price index, that is inflation, महंगाई is increasing. So at one side manufacturing is decreasing, at another side the cost or the महंगाई, the inflation is increasing. So this is two conditions are not good for an emerging economy. This is what the data is showing. One is IIP and another is CPI. CPI measures the inflation, retail महंगाई in a society, and another IIP measures the manufacturing. Next news is very important from the person's PIN category, that is person in news. One of the Mr. Y.S. Gaitonde's painting has become the most prizable auction painting in the Indian history. So any painting or artwork made by any Indian sold ever is the highest amount of worth getter. So the most expensive or costliest painting by any Indian is Mr. Gaitonde's painting, and the name of the painting is Untitled 1961, and it is a kind of an oil canvas painting. So these 3 points are need to be remembered. Another 3 news is, one is after Haryana government has passed the 75% of reservation in the private sector, Jharkhand is following it, and there are possibilities like many other states like MP, Karnataka, even for Maharashtra is going to pass the same bill, and this is going to harm the complete private sector autonomy in the company in the time where the companies or the states needs good economic growth, where these reservations are going to be harming the local growth and the local competition as well. Second is this factory output. So again it is a negative inflation. So what the two news are connected? How? One is the states are applying for reservations. At another point, the manufacturing is decreasing, and this news or this incident will further decrease down the manufacturing. Why? Because if there are not insufficient member or insufficient labor in a particular state and they are not available for manufacturing the same thing, the IIP is further going to decrease. So these two newses are actually well connected with it, and their summary may further down the economy and they may further lead to the increase in the consumer price index, that is the inflation in the country. One other important news coming from our neighbor, that is a Sikh member. First Sikh member is being selected as a senator. Senator means the Rajya Sabha of Pakistan. So his name is Mr. Gurdeep Singh. So he is the first man with a turban to be elected as a senator in the Pakistan government. Okay. So this was for today's news. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.